Hello everyone, this is Melinda here with CatSmashPuzzles, and today I'm doing SpeedPuzzling.com's first in 2026 new release 500-piece puzzle contest. And once again, it is SpeedMasters, and this again is a new brand from Boardwalk Puzzles. They are designed for us speed puzzlers and designed for speed. Of course, you're always welcome to do them casually. I don't think that'll change any way of how you enjoy the puzzle, but they are specifically designed for us because there's no false fits. There's the image is supposed to be a good way for us to sort, and just it's designed for us when we go to contests, basically. And the bag is easy to open in the middle, all sorts of things. Now, earlier I have explained that I am doing now 4 Zoom contests a month, and I really want to diversify my channel and want to do different types of puzzles, not just contest puzzles. So I know I have done 2 puzzles with y'all this month, which was the challenge puzzle, which was the Sonic the Hedgehog, and now this one. So I am now going down to 1 starting in February because there's 4 contests, and I just don't want to do all of them for all my long videos. Most of them will be, 3 of them a month will be shorts. So out of the 4 contests, 3 will be shorts and 1 will be a large video, just to kind of keep you appraised of how I'm doing with the contests. And obviously showing off a new puzzle that I get from them. It's probably going to be the new release ones because most of y'all hadn't seen it. It's a new release, obviously. It's probably going to be a SpeedMasters one. May not always be, but I do think that they'll be more interesting to talk about versus maybe the other ones. But what I'll end up doing, 3 out of the contests are 500, 1 is the 300, and I will not do the 300 as a full-length video unless it's a very interesting puzzle for some reason. But I'll stick with the 500s. Out of the 3 500s, I will do the contests, and then I'll make a selection which video I want to do for y'all. So unfortunately, that means I will have them all open, and I would have already done them by the time I film this. I'll remember what my first thoughts were and what my goals were before I opened the package. So no more tossing to future me or anything like that. But, so this puzzle is called Good Morning. The artist is Nick Martinson. And it is a breakfast puzzle. And again, the box doesn't quite have the whole image on it. I actually think I can pull out the poster here. And one of the things that they do is the poster is not, it's kind of like a hard cardboard like this, so it can like stand up on its own, like a little card. So that way we don't have to worry about a flimsy poster kind of falling off on us. It's just an easy set up like that, and it makes it very simple for us to put up. And as you can see, there is text, which I was not a fan of seeing, and as far as I know, it seems like all SpeedMaster puzzles have some sort of text. I guess I'll have to just keep practicing at that. But my first thoughts on the puzzle when I opened it up, again, it looks like a very sorted puzzle, kind of like the bento box. Again, it's food related, and I thought, okay, yeah, this might be a little difficult, but there's enough distinctions. The plate's circular, both plates are. I thought the strawberries might be difficult. The waffle looks a little bit difficult. I do think the text was going to be okay because of how the colors are behind it. Otherwise, I'm like, I might be able to try a practice, or not a practice, but like basically trying to sort this puzzle as fast as I can. I really want to emphasize my beginning of doing the speed puzzling, work on my flipping, work on my sorting, because if I can speed that up, I know I can hit under 40 minutes. So that was kind of my goal with this when I opened it up and saw the image. Once again, I am very happy to collect these. These are going to be one of the few brands that I will be collecting. Hopefully I'll get my hands on the ones I'm missing right now. So my time goals for this puzzle will be my general goal of under an hour, and my pieces per minute goal of 52 minutes or less. Now, with the contest puzzles, I'm really going to start pushing myself to try to be consistently under 50 minutes, depending on the puzzle. The challenge puzzle, I'll probably keep my 2 main goals, but I do want to start pushing myself closer and closer to that 40-minute mark so I can try to actually get my first attempt under 40 minutes. That has been my goal since the last couple months. I have not found that 500-piece puzzle that will get me under that 40-minute mark. So I'm really, as I am competing against other people, I'm kind of competing against myself. I really am trying to push myself to be better, and hopefully that'll pull me up in the rankings naturally, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So those are my goals for this one. I have the 3 goals basically: under an hour for general, 52 minutes or less for my pieces per minute to keep my average continuing going up, and under 50 minutes for contest purposes. So, good morning. Let's smash it. Well, I did this puzzle in 48 minutes and 37 seconds. This was Good Morning by SpeedMasters, and it does a wonderful pickup test. That's also one of the good things about this brand is that you can actually pick it up very nicely, stays together, doesn't fall apart. So it's very easy, especially when you want to pick up sections when you're doing the speed puzzling, and you can kind of put it together. Now, I am very happy with that time. I got under all 3 of my goals for this puzzle, but I was really pushing it. I do think that I did so much better in this round's competition. Now, this was the 3rd contest of the day. So I had the 300-piece, the 500-piece solo, and the 500-piece new release, which is this one. And I'll kind of show you the 2 puzzles I did back to back. So this one is called Green Acres Fresh Pie Tonight by Masterpieces, 300 pieces. And then this one is a Eurographics 500-piece puzzle called A Day at the Spa. It's a bunch of critters in picture frames. And I kind of wanted to just talk about those a little bit because I decided to do something different for my competition puzzles. I have been sitting on this couch doing puzzles. And I think that is fine for non-competition puzzles. But what I had noticed is I was just not doing the best in competition, at least the last couple months, and I think it was due to the couch. I was too comfortable on the couch. So what I did was I kind of turned my table. It's a coffee table with a whiteboard on it, and so I turned it sideways, and I sat on a metal chair to make it feel more like I was in a competitive environment. And the 3 puzzles I did today, it really exemplified this change because I think I did so much better on all these contests. I really wanted to point that out to y'all because sometimes if you just twerk your environment a little bit, it does actually improve your ability to do things. And I just, switch it up. I do better in-person competitions. The competitive environment energizes me. I get that adrenaline pumping. And I think I managed to do a little bit of it with this new setup I did for my competitions. Now, I don't plan to do this for all the puzzles I do because I'm not trying to race anybody, but just doing the best time I can. And especially if I do a 1,000-piece, I'm on the couch. How did I do on Good Morning by SpeedMasters? Well, as of the provisional rankings, this could change. I'll make sure to put the rankings up here. I got 14th place out of 258 participants, which is pretty good. Not quite the top 10, but I got very close. This was definitely a harder puzzle out of the 3 I did. The fastest time, I believe, was like 36 minutes, which is pretty good, but only 2 people got under 40 minutes, the 1st and 2nd place. But otherwise, everybody else was in the 40s in the top. So I do think that this puzzle was a bit more tricky. I'll tell you right now, I really did push myself to sort and flip as I went. I was putting pieces in kind of at the same time, but I really felt like I was kind of hyper-focused and not completely all over the place like I normally am. And so I think I have improved my ability to kind of focus on speeding up my non-puzzling aspects. So flipping the pieces, sorting. I looked at the camera, looked at the footage, and I think I was at the 13 or 14 minute mark where I was almost done sorting. If I can get that at the 10-minute mark, if I completely sort the puzzle, flip all the pieces, and sort the puzzle at the 10-minute mark, I can maybe start pushing that 40 minutes. It could take me, 30 minutes to finish the puzzle. I think that is very doable for me. Now, this puzzle was harder. I do think I miscalculated a little bit doing the organization at the beginning. The waffle right here was a little bit chaotic, and then the handkerchief up here, the kind of the tablecloth, I guess you could say, was also a little difficult, and I did leave that to last. I thought the bacon would be difficult, but it actually wasn't. There was enough individual pieces to where it kind of came together. Strawberries were a little tricky initially, and then I just focused on the green stems, and it came together quickly. So every other aspect of this puzzle, including the text, which I usually am kind of weak at, I did really well. I did at my speed. But unfortunately, the last 2 sections here, the waffle and the tablecloth, slowed me down enough to where I think I was at 42 or 43 minutes, and it took me 5 minutes to just finish those 2 sections, which is unfortunately a little too slow. But I do think that otherwise it went rather smoothly. I felt my adrenaline kick in. I felt myself in that competitive mode because I wasn't relaxed on a couch. And I think that was definitely a good positive change for me moving forward with my competitions. Now, overall, I am happy with those results. Now, I did mention in the challenge puzzle that I am now a silver belt. SpeedPuzzling.com has changed the way they do their belts now, and I explained that in that video if you want to check it out. Obviously, go to their website for more detailed explanation. And I don't think I was a top silver belt for this puzzle. I believe I was a top silver belt for the 300, and I believe this other 500 solar one. I'm not 100% sure. I was either the first or the second place. I was for sure the second silver belt for this puzzle. So I do think if I continue to especially get into the 90th percentiles consistently, that'll pull me up to a gold belt, which is kind of now my goal. So I have two really big competition goals I'm trying to do. One, become a gold belt at speedpuzzling.com. Two, get a puzzle under 40 minutes on my first attempt. If I can get those two goals, I'm very much setting myself up for success for nationals in March. And I will also, for practice purposes for nationals, I'll be doing a lot more 500-piece Ravensburgers because that's going to be the new release puzzles that will be done at nationals. And I need to practice Ravensburgers in order for me to be competing well there. I do look forward to filming all that. I will do my best to film more footage than just me doing the puzzle, because I do think that's going to be a massive event, and I've got to be able to share that with y'all. That'll be multiple large videos, so I do look forward to sharing that with you. Once again, this was Good Morning by SpeedMasters. We smashed it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.